Hey, hello world, and welcome to another live stream of Money Mondays with Timbaland. I want to begin by saying thank you to everyone who subscribed, commented, and shared my live stream. Please send in your questions, comments, and feedback. I am not the sage on the stage, so please let me know what money and or money matter topics are of the most interest to you, and we will dialogue about them. I'm going to just give a moment to see who is in the chat with me right now and just spend a little time giving people a moment to come on in and join us again this beautiful, beautiful day. Great, great. Glad you are here with us. Oh, I see. Hi, Cindy. Welcome, welcome to the program. Well, we're going to continue on and we will hope others will join us as we proceed. Last week, you all shared how motivated you were by my personal story. So I will weave more of that in today's conversation as I share financial thinking and techniques that help me build a pretty impressive real estate portfolio, save significantly for retirement, and travel the world living like a millionaire on my budget, and primarily that of a teacher's salary. So, and even though we are in the midst of pandemic and protests, I still remain steadfast to the Live Like a Millionaire Now movement, spurred by my own book, Mind Over Money: How to Live Like a Millionaire on Any Budget, and at that time during the Australian Open. So today I want to talk about the money tool and how I willed it to achieve financial success. And for you all who are just joining me for the first time, the money tool is the blueprint for creating or designing the life you want for yourself, for your family, your legacy, and yes, for your fun. Money is a tool we use to build and create the life we want. Let me be clear. Increasing financial success is not about materialism and consumption, consumption. That's not the function. You all can see that I love to sing, I love music. But money is a tool needed to fulfill a purpose, to fulfill your calling in life. I believe we were all born to do a particular something, not just to find something to do. The money tool and other tools are for building that something. How you use your money tool heavily impacts the quality of your life, the quality of your family life, the quality of your environment, the quality of your community, and the world at large. Proper use of your money tool makes life fuller for you and generations that follow, your children and their children. You know that I am a Mississippi girl, descendants of cooks and sharecroppers. And I said all of that to say that no one had enough seed to give me the money required to purchase a pretty impressive real estate portfolio. So, um, so in today's lesson, I'm going to share how I purchased a pretty impressive real estate portfolio in the second largest state in the United States and one of the second largest cities, Los Angeles. And I have to tell you, it is one of the best financial decisions I've ever made and one of the best investments I've ever made. So I guess you could say today's lesson is going to be about me showing you and impressing upon you how small beginnings and how small seeds planted, watered, and cared for can lead to big money trees. Small seeds, well planted, sown in good soil, strategically managed, your pennies, your nickels, your dimes, your quarters will lead to and eventually become large money trees. And I can tell you that my $8 an hour job served as my investment tool and positioned me and my heirs to live a great life now, in retirement, and for generations to come. I actually gross more from my investments than I do my career. And because I believe in multiple streams of income, I'm always investing my time, my talent, and my treasure to increase my financial success. In my book, I share the details of how I acquired my first property after living a very modest lifestyle. I lived in a small place on a street with no name, certainly not a good name, and I saved my money. I saved my coins. I won't go into detail, but I remember something my brother said, and it means so much to me at this stage in my life. And he said, "You stayed down so you could come up." That's a financial principle. So when I came up, I came hard and big, so to speak. I moved from this modest space to buying a property that tripled my living space in an LA area that was less than a 10-minute drive away from Beverly Hills. And I bought that property for less than $40,000. In fact, I paid $39,900 to be exact. And if I told you what that property and that investment is valued at today, you would be, what? And there's also responsibility that comes along with what I teach, that comes along with proper management and how to multiply your investment. And these are the things that I teach in my class. See, we live in Hollywood. This is Los Angeles, and we see the glamour, we see the beauty and the presentation, but we don't always see what's going on behind the scenes. And there's a lot of work taking place behind the scenes. But I digress. We do have to study the craft, and there's rehearsals, there's labor involved, even in property management. But I want to go back to this, and I'm going to be brief today because I know I need to be brief. This long winded Southern girl can go on a long time, but I wanted to impress on you that money is a tool. It is something it's not something I want just for the sake of saying, oh, I've got a lot of money. It's not about that for me. It's not about being able to buy a bunch of stuff. It's not about that. It's money is a tool to fulfill a specific purpose and to build people, to build families, to build communities that impact the world in a positive way. And if you're listening to the news at all, you know that our world is in need of some positivity right now. And just as I am a woman, I am a runner, a slow one, but nevertheless a runner. And by the way, everything I have achieved, those big accomplishments, the small accomplishments, they all came slowly. Back to the I ams. I am called a money magnet because my friends say I attract money, but I don't love it. And I want to make that distinction. I there's a purpose in the money tool. There's a purpose and a reason behind it. And it has nothing to do with loving money. And I get into those dynamics in the classes about, how you think and process information has a big impact on what you will do, because I believe a whole lot in just integrity around money and everything you do, actually. Okay. However, I am blessed by my God to be able to steward or manage it well. And that came through many trials and testing. So because I managed money well, the the seed of the I took the mustard seed that was given me, the small seeds, the pennies, the nickels, the dimes, and that has led to money trees. So you do have to qualify to do these things. I had to prove myself worthy by managing what I had well, and then more came. Every phase of money management requires some sort of paradigm shift without abandoning necessarily the basic building principles learned in those initial stages, in those early stages of your growth and development. And as we go, I will continue to unpack these matters in these live streams and so forth. But I am going to close with this watering of the grass because it is my guiding financial principle by which all of the wealth that I have achieved was built on. And this is something that I have just come into a knowledge of recently. I was going through a divorce and decided to buy another house, even though a friend suggested I rent for a while. I bought a house that was once valued at $800,000 for $255,000. And now it's back up to that same amount or more. But in the middle of getting a divorce, I had this really nice front yard that had brown grass. And I wanted green grass instead. And going through that, this was a very emotional period for me. And the emotional me wanted help. Money is emotional, as you all know. And so I asked the neighbor across the street to come over. And once he realized I was about to ask him for help with the yard, he ran away before I could get the question out of my mouth in full. But I still wanted my green grass. I wanted to turn my brown grass green. So when the neighbor ran off, I mentioned this same desire to my mother. And she said, all you need to do is water your grass. Now, Timbaland, what does this have to do with wealth building? Stay with me. I'm going to tell you. Young Timbaland wanted to ask a lot of questions and muddy the water. Well, do I need any special equipment? Do I need a special talent? Do I need a special tool, a special information? And the answer was no. All you need to do is take your simple water hose and water your grass daily. And honestly, guys, that's all I had was this little bit of water hose and some water. And so what about fertilizer? I will say, do I need dirt? Do I need special gardening tools? No, my mother said, just water your grass with your simple water hose every day. 30 minutes per day, 15 minutes a day. Start at the same time every day for weeks, months, and years when it comes to financial building. The same information that I'm sharing regarding watering the grass applies to building wealth. You start with what you have and grow from there. And so today, I want to give you a starting point as we take on this task together. But let me finish the point about the grass, and then we'll get to the homework. So I took a twofold approach to watering my grass. I wanted to keep the green part green and give additional attention to the brown spots until they became green. I became a grass inspector, y'all, paying attention to every section of the yard, noting what area needed the most attention. Where should I focus more? I always started